Light is Britain's far-right conspiracy theory paper spreading hate and vicious lies. No, that's what the BBC say. The Light is the only national newspaper bringing you the real news and informed opinion on what's really going on today. You can subscribe, order copies, submit articles, and read back issues on our website, thelightpaper.co.uk, and see for yourself why the establishment are so worried about the uncensored truth getting out to people every month. The Light Paper. Not far right, just right so far. thelightpaper.co.uk.
Scene script. Have you ever pondered the idea of financial independence and early retirement? The notion of not having to clock in at 9 or wrestle with the daily grind? Imagine a life where you're not shackled by financial obligations or a demanding job. It's not an impossible dream, but a reality for those who embrace the FIRE movement. That's financial independence, retire early. Consider the tale of Jane, a woman in her early 30s. Jane was an ordinary person living an ordinary life. She had a 9-to-5 job, a mortgage, car payments, and a lifestyle that was comfortable but hardly extravagant. And like most people, she dreamed of a life where she didn't have to worry about money. Jane decided to make a change. She began by cutting back on non-essential expenses, saving as much of her income as possible. She invested wisely, focusing on assets that generated passive income that didn't require her to trade time for money. Slowly but surely, Jane began to build her financial independence. She was still working, but she was no longer living paycheck to paycheck. She had a safety net, a cushion that gave her the freedom to make choices based on what she wanted, not what she needed. Fast forward 10 years, Jane, now in her early 40s, had achieved her goal. She was financially independent. She had enough passive income to cover her living expenses, and she no longer needed to work to survive. She was free to retire early, to spend her time as she pleased. Jane's story may seem extraordinary, but it's not unique. It's the story of anyone who has embraced the principles of the FIRE movement. It's a tale of discipline, of sacrifice, and of a relentless pursuit of financial independence. To summarize, the key points discussed today revolve around the idea of financial independence and early retirement. It requires discipline and sacrifice, cutting back on non-essential expenses and saving as much as possible. It involves investing wisely, focusing on assets that generate passive income. But most importantly, it requires a change in mindset. It's about seeing money not as a means to buy things, but as a tool to buy freedom. It's about understanding the true value of time and the freedom that comes with not having to trade it for money. This is the essence of the FIRE movement. It's not just about retiring early, it's about achieving financial independence, about gaining the freedom to live life on your own terms. Like Jane, you too can embrace the principles of the FIRE movement and embark on a journey towards financial independence and early retirement. After all, the only thing standing between you and your financial freedom is you.
Ever wondered how much you'd need to save to achieve financial independence? The answer lies within the mathematics of a concept known as FIRE, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The most essential number in your journey to financial independence is calculated by multiplying your annual spend by 25. Notice the emphasis on annual spend, not annual income. This calculation is based on the principle that you need £300 invested for every pound you wish to spend each month in passive income. Hence, your FIRE number is also your monthly spend times 300. This mathematical principle is founded on the 4% safe withdrawal rate, as defined by financial advisor William Bengen. He proposed this rate after analyzing the S&P 500, which typically produces an average of better than 10% growth per year when studied over a period of approximately 30 years. Bengen considered factors such as inflation and market volatility. After studying previous market activity, he concluded that a 4% rate of withdrawal per year would provide for a 30-year sustainable portfolio in the vast majority of cases. So to paint a clearer picture, if your monthly spend is £1,000, then your target for financial independence is 300 times 1,000, or £300,000. Alternatively, if your annual spend is £12,000, your financial independence target is 25 times 12,000, which also equates to £300,000. The first step in planning your financial independence, therefore, lies in understanding your monthly and yearly expenditure. Without this knowledge, it is impossible to take further strides towards your financial freedom. In summary, the mathematics of FIRE revolves around the principle of multiplying your annual spend by 25 or your monthly spend by 300 based on the 4% safe withdrawal rate. Knowing your monthly and annual spend is crucial in determining the amount you need to save to achieve financial independence. Armed with this knowledge, you can then plan your journey towards financial freedom. Remember, the journey to financial independence is not a sprint, but a marathon. Embrace the mathematics of FIRE and take the first step towards your financial independence today.
Good afternoon, guys. It is 3:26 on Monday the 28th of April 2025. That means that we have completed 3 years and 4 weeks of what will be roughly an 8-year journey into financial independence. And let's have a quick look and see where everything is sitting at. So obviously, if you've been watching, you will remember when Trump announced his tariffs. This happened, and things have been fairly volatile for a little while since. A little bit of a green candlestick beginning to show at the very end there currently, and as things stand, the current market value is sitting at £78.45. It is up 0.5% today, and the return on investment for the portfolio at this time just over 11%. We currently hold 272 shares, and that's currently worth roughly £21,500. In terms of the day's range, you can see that it actually looks as if it's on the lower side of the range for the day so far. In terms of the 52-week range, you can see that it's in the lower half, but actually there's been very little movement there in this past week or so, at least relative to the span for the past 52 weeks. Right, before we have a look at the notifications, let me draw your attention to Monzo.
I want a bank that makes money easy.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
And you are?
We're a bank called Monzo.
Oh.
I want a bank that shows me what I spend instantly.
No problem, just give us a go. See?
Can you make splitting bills easy?
Super easy, check this out.
But it's a real faff to sign up.
It takes less than 10 minutes.
Race you.
You're on.
Can I talk to a real person 24/7?
Of course.
Even now?
Yep.
Even now?
Anytime.
Can you tell me when I'm running a little low on cash?
We certainly can.
Cool. Can I afford these?
You certainly can't, sorry. Can't afford that either.
That's a real shame.
Not really. Time's up, how'd you get on?
It's a draw.
Can you help me save for my next holiday?
Oh, how about you set up a savings pot in the Monzo app called Barbados, baby?
Thanks for listening, Monzo.
We're all ears.
You can go now.
Rude. You make Monzo Monzo.
Okay, so you can find affiliate links for Monzo and my mobile provider Smarty in the description for the video. With that said, let's have a look at the notifications. Tesla gains 6% as the Trump administration greenlights broader exemptions for self-driving vehicles. T-Mobile down 10% as postpaid subscriber miss overshadows Q1 earnings beat. Intel down 6% on weak guidance and cost-cutting plans despite Q1 earnings beat. Alphabet surges 5.5% on solid Q1 earnings, brushing off tariff uncertainty. As you can see, 6 days ago we made our purchase for 73.76, and the week before that it was sitting at 77.60. So currently it's sitting at 78.29, 78.30. So yeah, it looks as if things are on the up. And the last time the market had hit that price, actually I should follow this line back. So last time it had hit that price really was in around August or September of last year. And then of course it skyrocketed, and then of course Trump announced his tariffs, which I'm sure absolutely delighted Elon Musk, not to mention many others, but I think Tesla in particular appears to have suffered pretty heavily due to the tariffs announcement. Okay, with all that said, let's go ahead and put in our weekly investment. I always put in £120 into the Vanguard S&P 500 exchange traded fund. It's seen here on the practice platform within Trading 212, and as you know if you follow the channel, this is a theoretical investment. It's a practice account. I do use Trading 212, and I do invest a sort of similar amount to the figures seen on screen, but I keep my specific finances private, as I'm sure you can appreciate. So looking at the prediction here, we're going to be able to buy roughly 1.5 shares at the current market value. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. It's going to be a market buy, so I'm not putting any stop limits or anything like that on it. And let's see what we get. So we did get 1.53 shares, and the purchase price was £78.08, almost 9p. Now I just happened to notice out the corner of my eye that it looks as if the price has taken a little bit of a dip here since we started. I think it was up almost 0.5% at the very start, and now it appears to be up just shy of 0.1%. So quite a change. As I say, it's quite volatile even now. But anyway, it looks as if the figures have updated. So currently we now have 273.8 shares. They're worth 21,380. The return on investment is 10.5%. An average purchase price, which I didn't mention earlier, but it is now sitting at £70.58. So there you go. Plenty of room yet for plenty more recovery. If you remember back to COVID, this was the V-shaped recovery after COVID. So if we say COVID, the effect of COVID hit in around about February 2020. It took it until roughly August to make back the losses. So that was a matter of roughly 6 months. So if we say that this thing about the tariffs started in February, well, it could be similar. Actually, it could take until the middle of the summer. If we do indeed see what I predict will be a V-shaped recovery, yet again, particularly given that the fall in prices is really due to nothing more than Trump's decision to act as regards tariffs, but it is not as a result of any other tangible factor. It is purely a reaction to that. And it's for that reason that I wouldn't be at all surprised to see things back on track, back up where they were by August. So there we go. Guys, that is pretty much it for today. We've had a look to see where the market is at. We have done our weekly purchase, and we've had a little bit of a chat about what's happening in the market at present. I do this every week. If you are interested in following the journey, why not subscribe to the channel? If you particularly like this episode, give it a thumbs up. But failing that, thank you for watching. Have a good end to your Monday, and I'll be back again next week with more. Catch you then.